Hey guys, how you doing? It's me, Stas, your video agent. Today I want to tackle a couple of topics or questions I've received about the VA loan program. For those that are veterans and would like to utilize your VA loan program, it really isn't that difficult. I know you feel like the government makes you jump through hoops, and I've been through it prior service as well, but I could definitely assist you with that. The VA program is a great program, and it really does have a lot of great benefits. So please don't be scared off of what you heard or the first couple of stages you've encountered. With that being said, let's talk about the differences in loans. I know a lot of people say, why is a VA loan excuse me, better, or what is a VA loan? So with that being said, I'm going to switch my screens. A VA loan, it's pretty much a government loan, and the loan itself is not issued by the VA. The VA doesn't issue the loan, but what it does is it oversees the program and guarantees a portion of each loan in case of default. So the VA loan isn't the issuer of the loan, and they don't enforce credit scores. I know that brings to the next question: what's the minimum credit score? But a VA doesn't really enforce a credit score. That's really based on the lender, and every lender has their own benchmark, is what they call it. So the typical benchmark is that 620 credit score. So you want to have over 620. Now there are some lenders that are doing loans under 620 for sure, but you'd have to do some research to find out which lenders are. It's not impossible, but the typical benchmark is 620 credit score. Another thing a lot of people ask is, well, what's the differences between the VA loan and the FHA loan? VA loan and FHA loan are government loans, so they're backed. The VA loan varies across the different lenders. It's a 620 minimum credit score, and then for veterans of the military and their spouses. FHA loans, anyone can qualify for that. That's more that for first-time home buyer. They also go with a 620 credit score threshold, but different from the VA loan. The VA loan is zero down, where FHA you need a minimum of 3.5% down. Also with the VA home loan, there's no MI, and that's mortgage insurance. With the FHA loan, you do get mortgage insurance. Another loan product is the USDA loan, which is Department of Agriculture. That is also 0% down, but lenders typically want to see a credit score of 660 or higher. And then you have conventional loans, which are going to ask you for a little bit more of a down payment. It's not secure, it's not backed by any government, so since it isn't, there's a greater risk for that loan. So they normally want credit scores in that 640 range. Again, that will vary from lender to lender. There's some lenders that'll go a little less, but that's something that you want to ask your lender. Again, I'm not part of the financing sector of purchasing a home, just trying to give you some information about the different loan programs. Every program has its changes, so you definitely want to check back with your lender to see if any changes have occurred in the past couple months, because they really do change. So with that being said, I want to bring you to the next topic of how do you know if you are eligible. Well, looking over here, let's go back to before we get into eligibility. Well, there's different parts of eligibility. Eligibility requirements for the VA loan, and then eligibility of what you can use your VA loan with. That's two parts. Okay, so VA guaranteed home loans. The eligibility requirements require that you have your own. It's going to be your personal occupancy. That you obtain a COE, which is a certificate of eligibility that's issued by the VA, and it's listed for servicemen and veterans, spouses, and other eligible beneficiaries. VA home loans can be used for to buy a home, a condominium, in a VA approved project. Build a home. There are VA construction loans. Very difficult to find, but I do have a couple lenders here that can help us build a home here in Southwest Florida. and you can simultaneously purchase and improve a home as well. I would look on the benefits.va.gov website. They have tons of information, and I'll provide that in the link below. More eligibility requirements for VA home loans. The status of a veteran, obviously if you served in World War II, at least 90 days. Post-World War II, 181 continuous days. The Korean War, 90 total days. Post-Korean War, 181 continuous days. Vietnam War, 90 days. Post-Vietnam War is 181 days. You have the 24-month rule, 24 months of continuous service. The full period, at least 181 days for what you were called in order to active duty. Gulf War, 24 continuous months or full period of at least 90 days for what you were called to order for active duty. Anyone who's currently on active duty, as long as you have 90 days of continuous service, you qualify. National Guard, it gets a little hairy. Now with National Guard or reservists, whether you're Army, Reserve, Coast Guard, whatever it is, you need 6 years of service in a selected reserve or National Guard. For those that are in the reserves or have served in the reserves in any facet, you get what they call retirement points. Your retirement points have to add up to 6 years to qualify for a VA loan. From there, I mean, if you were placed on the retired list, if you have to be discharged with an honorable discharge. You have to. You don't have a DD 214 per se, unless you did have active duty. There are a lot of reservists that didn't do active duty, so they have to have a letter of when they were discharged. Show that letter right there, and it will show if it was honorable. Or like for myself, I didn't have a letter when I was discharged. Discharge orders is what they call them. I'm not sure why. For some reason, in my time frame when I had exited, many people weren't getting it. But I did a year later re-up and let me sign another contract, for additional time. And they took my contract, my renewal, and they used that to show that I was honorably discharged from my first set. Because obviously they're not going to re-enlist you if you were dishonorably discharged. So the VA can work with a couple different things for a reservist to try to get you in. But for the most part, you do need your retirement point statement, and it has to be total of 6 years or more, obviously, of service in the reserves. So or National Guards. So those are some of the things that a lot of people had questions about. The spouse of a veteran can also apply for a home loan eligibility under a couple different conditions. The unremarried spouse of a veteran who died while in service, the spouse of a serviceman missing in action or prisoner of war, a surviving spouse who remarries on after attaining age 57, and or after December 16, 2003. So those are a couple of different things for spouses. You may also apply for eligibility if you fall into one of the following categories. Certain U.S. citizens certain U.S. citizens who served in the armed forces and of a government allied with the United States in World War II, and individuals with service as members of certain organizations such as public health service officers, cadets at United States military, Air Force, or Coast Guard academies, midshipmen at the United States Naval Academy, officers of National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, merchant seamen with World War II service, and a few others. So to answer your questions fully, I'm going to leave the link, benefits.va.gov, and there's tons of information there. I'm going to do another video for the Army reservists and National Guard people who are looking to get documents. There's a lot of questions I get all the time about where do I get my documents, who do I call. There's a couple of different numbers. I have sheets here of how I got my stuff together. That's a video for another time, but I just wanted to, in this video again, to go over what the different benefits were of the loans compared to the VA home loan. Of course, eligibility and trying to help people find out if they are eligible. So please don't be scared of the VA home loan. It's a really great program. I'd love to assist you. There are a lot of great benefits. Trust me, something you don't want to miss out on if you're purchasing a home. Thank you so much, and if you like the video, please hit like. Have any questions, send me some questions, and I'd love to answer them for you. Thanks, and I hope that you guys are having a very, very beautiful day.